Good afternoon, Mr. President, distinguished colleagues. My name is Asuko Ekwenyo, Senator representing Cross River South. I'm here to present the motion on the persistent denial of treatment and care to victims of gunshot wounds and other emergencies, urgent need to ensure compliance with the provision of the Compulsory Treatment and Care for Victims of Gunshots Act 2017. The Senate worried that even within the Federal Capital Territory and across the country, hospitals continue to demand for police report before victims are attended to. With an embarrassing report of the death of Ms Greatness Olorunfemi, a community developer and member of the Young African Leaders Initiative Network, on account of alleged refusal of Maitama General Hospital, Abuja, to accept and treat her after being pushed out of a fast-moving vehicle, after being attacked and pushed out of a fast-moving vehicle on Tuesday, the 26th of September, by the notorious one-chance operators. Aware that following the enactment of the National Health Act 2014, and particularly the Compulsory Treatment and Care for Victims of Gunshots Act 2017, victims of gunshots and other emergencies now have the right to treatment, a right which is rooted in Section 1 thereof and reads to wit. As from the commencement of this act, every hospital in Nigeria, whether public or private, shall accept or receive for immediate and adequate treatment, with or without police clearance, any person with a gunshot wound. Also aware that Section 3 of the Compulsory Treatment and Care for Victims of Gunshots Act 2017 reiterates the provision of Section 1 thereof by providing that no gunshot victim shall be refused immediate and adequate treatment whether or not an initial monetary deposit has been made. Again, aware that Section 13 provides that any person or authority, including any police officer or other security agents or hospitals, who stands by or admits to do his bit, which results in the unnecessary death of any person with bullet wound, commits an offense and shall on conviction be liable to 5 years imprisonment and or a fine of 50,000. A provision which the 10th Senate may review to provide for stiffer penalties. Concerned that the problem with the treatment of gunshot victims is not because of an absence of law, because the Compulsory Treatment and Care of Victims of Gunshots Act 2017 clearly provides for the mandatory treatment of such victims alongside punishments for contravention of the provisions of this act, but that the problem is centered around enforcement and compliance. Affirms the need to uphold the provisions of Section 14(2)(b), 33 and 34 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as altered, and to ensure strict compliance with the provision of the Compulsory Treatment and Care of Victims of Gunshots Act 2017 to stop further unnecessary loss of precious life due to persistent refusal of hospitals to admit, treat, and care for victims of gunshots and other emergencies. The Senate accordingly resolves to 1. Observe a minute silence for the repose of the soul of Ms Greatness Olorunfemi, who allegedly lost her life on Tuesday, the 26th of September 2023, due to the refusal of Maitama District Hospital, Abuja, to provide treatment and care because of an absence of a report, and several other Nigerians who have lost their lives in similar circumstances nationwide. 2. Invite the Honorable Minister of Health and the Inspector General of Police to appear before the Joint Committee on Health and Police Affairs to brief the committee on the non-compliance with the provision of the Compulsory Treatment and Care for Victims of Gunshots Act 2017. And 3. Mandate the Committees on Health, Police Affairs, and Legislative Compliance to ensure compliance. I so move.
Let me thank the Distinguished Senator Asuko Ekwenyo and all those who have contributed to the debate on this all-important motion, to say that the Senate is very sad that this occurred in the first place. And in line with prayer 1, I want us to rise and observe a minute silence for our late Ms Greatness Olorunfemi and any other soul that could have been lost in such circumstances. May the soul of late Greatness Olorunfemi was shot by unknown persons but abandoned by Maitama General Hospital to bleed to death without attention, and the soul of all other departed in such circumstances rest in perfect peace.
This is